We're going to look at the B7th chord. Now, later on I'm going to talk about the difference between a 7th chord and a major chord, and there's other things called minor chords, and we're going to come onto those. But for the moment, as I said very early on, it's just the visual and the aural that we're worried about. So we're going to just learn the shape, and then I'm going to show you how that can be put together with a couple of the other chords that we've learned to make a chord progression, and you're even going to start playing some blues. So here's the B7th. Index finger on just behind the 1st fret of the D or 4th string. So we've then got our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A or 5th string. We've got our middle finger on the 2nd, or just behind, I should say, the 2nd fret of the D or 4th string, and our little finger just behind the 2nd fret of the treble E string. So this is, I think, this is the first chord that we've learned that uses all 4 of those fingers. Now, where are we going to use that? Well, we're going to use it with E and A. To start with, you want to do just, again, a circular chord progression. So we're going to go E, A, B, 7th, E, A, B, 7th. We're going to count 4 to the bar. And you're going to hear a little bit in here as to how it starts to hint at blues. I'm not going to get into an actual blues progression in this lesson, but you're going to hear that hint of the blues. And a little bit later on, we'll actually come up with some blues chord progressions that will sound very much like the blues. So start off on our E, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A, 2 and 3 and 4 and B7, 2 and 3 and 4, E, 2 and 3 and 4. Now, the muscle memory stuff again, movement from chord to chord, minimizing it, and therefore ending up with minimal gaps between. Our E, we change to the A. We know that these two stay locked together and move across to the 2nd and 3rd strings. What about when we go to the B7th? Well, this one here, the index finger, has only got to move down to the 1st fret. It's on the right string. The others are different, but as you can see, going, say, from an A to a B7, you can minimize your movement that way by keeping that one down and just sliding it back down a fret. You can go as slowly as you like. Whatever is the weak link in the chain, whether, for example, in this chord progression, if it's changing from the A to the B7th, if you find that harder than going from the E to the A, slow everything down to the point that it sounds smooth with that hardest chord change. It's much easier for everything to speed up together than it is to try to... I get too many students doing this sort of thing. Doesn't sound very musical, does it? So far better to slow down